Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description. The direct purchase and pricing question line from you to me and my hand-picked crew for your questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing the FP Journe Quantième Perpetuel, a timepiece 40 millimeters in rose gold, launched back in 2015. So 40 millimeters in rose gold, it's a thin piece in spite of its automatic winding, power reserve, and complication. Only 10.7 millimeters thick and 48 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. So you can use the common 20 millimeter size if you want to outfit this one differently. Now you can see the watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist sits nice and low, easily clearing any kind of a dress cuff. It's not just that it's less than 11 millimeters thick, it's also the domed profile of the bezel that allows the sleeve to ramp up and over. The timepiece is nicely constrained at 48 millimeters across the wrist. You can see there's plenty of clearance on both sides, and I'm pulling this pretty tight, so it's exaggerated. It'll fit even better on a small wrist than it appears. 14 centimeters circumference, I would say you're still viable. Maybe even 13.5 centimeters circumference your wrist is going to fit. Now the strap that's fitted is a lovely Rousseau aftermarket piece that is of commensurate quality to the watch. Jean Rousseau of Paris creating a strap that uses a sort of fatigued gradient colored medium brown, sort of nubuck textured alligator leather strap with a contrasting stitch. You can see the semi-curved spring bars to allow the strap to move unimpeded close to the case flank. There are pull-tab spring bars to remove it easily without any resort to tools, and you'll appreciate that it is alligator on both sides. Gator on the top, gator on the bottom. The better to last longer. The gator on the bottom rather than conventional calfskin bodes well for the longevity of this strap. Now you can see there's a matching rose gold pin buckle, FP Journe branded, a lovely piece. And as you can see, FP Journe is thoughtful, creating an elevated bridge over the twin prongs so that the strap sits inside the buckle rather than underneath the buckle. It doesn't stack up on the wrist. The case band will be familiar to Journe fans. You have a simple high polish bezel, case back, and mid case. There's a little bit of a lip to the case back in the bezel that overhangs the mid case and creates a bit of longitudinal definition, giving some strength to the case. Lovely compound curved lugs. You can see they taper inward and downward. They have a lovely arc to them, and you can see how they turn almost 90 degrees from the case band to wrap down and around a smaller wrist. The dial is handsome and distinctively FP Journe. First, because you have that combination of tones, textures, colors, and materials, and second, because all of the classical features are there. Radially arrayed Arabic numerals of various sizes to fit around the black polished dial bezel, which is held in place by visible screws. This is another Journe signature. You can see there's a great deal of symmetry to this dial, and that's not always the case with Journe watches, but you can almost split this one down the center and feature symmetry from side to side. The watch does feature the day, the month, a double-digit date, and you can see there's a small indicator with the quarters of the leap year cycle, Quantième Perpétuel, in red right at the center. And though the watch is rated to 120 hours on its power reserve indicator, reality is that it'll run for more like 160, but 120 is the chronometric or precise power reserve for keeping good time. The watch features a quick set system, so you can turn clockwise in the middle position of the crown to set the day, and then if you turn counterclockwise, you set the date as well as the day. Now the watch features a hidden adjuster system for the month, which you'll notice featured right next to the 1 o'clock. You can see that there is a little lever that folds out from the case back, and I don't have quite the nails that I should because of my manicures for these shows, but you can see that I'm able to toggle the month using that trigger, and that trigger also advances the leap year cycle indicator in small steps. So you don't need any kind of a tool. FP Journe wanted you to be able to adjust all of the calendar functions without any kind of a tool or pusher, and there are no adjustment dimples on the flank of the case to mar its lines. The center dial is rose gold, and as you can see, there are facets cut in to transition the slope down from the plane of the dial to the plane of the date discs. Turning everything over, we have caliber 1303, distinct from the original. This is now a unidirectional winder for greater efficiency. Both bridges and plates are of 18 karat rose gold, and you can see that the winding mass itself, which has a lovely Grand Doge or barleycorn cut, 22 karat gold to create even more mass, increase its inertia, and thus aid its winding efficiency. The watch features that extended power reserve, 120 to 160 hours, and a free sprung balance that beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. You can see that the Movement has been adjusted in 5 positions like any high-grade watch will be. That is the chronometer standard 5-position adjustment. You have that free-sprung balance of exceptionally large inertia. It has a lot of mass, so though it's not a high beat movement, it's equally resistant to shock and bump and concussion-induced timing deviation thanks to the large mass and the free-sprung architecture. You can see it is a handsome movement because it's a gold movement inside a gold case. The watch is even heavier than you would suspect. You can see Côte de Genève across the bridges. There is anglage or mirrored chamfering on the edge of the bridges, black polished screw heads, all of them, engine turn perlage on the base plate. There's the barley corn on the winding rotor, and then you can see it's also black polished. An impressive array of precious metal and fine finish. A perpetual calendar that need be adjusted only once in the year 2100. Leap years, irregular length months, not a problem. It's not too late. Well, it's not too late, I should say, to own this watch for Leap Year Day 2020. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com.